Yo boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing some good old-fashioned Mistweaver Frost DK. Now you may think, what am I doing on a Mistweaver? Well, I am selling carries. However, this DK was actually really good. It's probably one of the better players that I've carried in terms of just pure damage. And you'll see a lot of these clips here are just him absolutely obliterating. I'm also using something that increases the damage. So we have pretty much just an ultimate tag team unhealable amounts of damage. You'll see it. Frost DK after the buff on top of my damage, it ends up equaling out at a lot of damage. The only bad news is warriors, hunters, and mages. So those are the ones that you should lose to. However, so we lost to a lot of those. Same thing with DH. So those are your main, which obviously you might be like, okay, well that's every game past 2100. Well, yes it is, but there are situations like these ones where if you kill them quick enough, you can win. And the warrior decides to go me, and he ends up getting obliterated. So it was just that was a free we owned. Um, but you're normally supposed to lose to all of those. Now there are some where you could still win. Like this one is a hard one for us because he can stun while he's in a stun. He can also port in a stun. This is like the ultimate counter team. It's like versus a sub rogue. They can stun you. They can do pretty much whatever they want. So here we use our Song Chi, and it looks like he actually doesn't. The Mistweaver is soloing my DK. So that's the power of Mistweaver. The log wasn't even attacking yet. That was solely the Mistweaver. So here we open on this guy. I put my thing on him, so I trinket, put my thing on him, which obviously makes him take more damage. So we pretty much get every CD but trinket. He AMZs, which is good. And at this point, all we're trying to do is, just max damage. So as you can see, I'm using my damage whenever it's up. And on your goes, that's when you want to be using your dam. But if they're like this low, you might as well just use it. Because as you can see, he ends up just taking the most unhealable dam after this. So here we do our go. Unfortunately, we're going to revival because we're both low. We might as well. At this point, we just need one more solid CC chain with silence or really anything. And this guy's dead. He has no orb. He has no wall. He may have port, but I don't even think he's in the port range that he put it down in. So here we give him more damage. I stun him myself. He trinkets my stun. At this point, we just burst him and we need to kill him. So we get a good kick here. At this point, I'm just spamming heals as much as possible. That's pretty much all you can do. So here, again, this is like our last go. We have to win the game. I get a really good kick into we absolutely just obliterate him. So one kick right there from about 60% with my damage and his. We end up taking him out. It was a close game. That's actually a very hard game for us, just due to the fact that it's a Demo Warlock. Same thing like as this. Now, the good news, Frost DK counters a lot of things. So if you know how to play your class, you have to kill the Druid. You'll never kill a melee 9 times out of 10. When you're facing a Rusted Druid, you have to kill the Rusted Druid if you want to win. You'll rarely ever kill the Mage. It's just not going to happen. They're way too strong, especially in this type of meta where it's super dampening. It's just not going to be very fun. So here the mage cheats me, he rakes him. At this point my guy just needs to press, so he does. He can honestly AMZ on top of that, but here I end up orbing him. At this point we're chilling. Now we can do our go. So I stun them both, and that's the good thing about ours, because I have an AoE stun, and then obviously I'm giving my teammate a ton of damage. Because he takes 10% increased damage, or I can have 10% increased healing. So here I make him charge, he blinks again, I dispel him when I can. So pretty much we've gotten double trinket, so we need one more solid setup, and they lose. So here we get his full Song Chi. This is where we pump him. You're always reapplying your 10% increased damage. Obviously, you want 10. If it is dispellable, but it is insanely needed. So here we need one more solid setup. That's it. Unfortunately, I don't think we kill him right here, but I think we kill him on this very go here. So I trinket this. I'm trying to fake cast this kick. Nice. So there we go. At this point, we win the game. As long as we get the setup going, it's over. It's GG. We just need to kill him. So here I incap him. Even if it's only for a second, it's worth it. I immediately dispel him. And this is where I'm going to use my stun. And as you can see, he has no trinket. If I full stun him, he's in trouble. So right out of this sheep, I'm going to stun him. Fortunately, oh nice. So he gets a really good incap into my stun before he gets cloned and he gets taken out. That was the worst decision of his life. Casting clone when he's 30% HP, that was risky. So as a Frost DK, you're going the healer 9 times out of 10, almost 10 times out of 10. The only reason you would be going DPS is to swap. So here we open on the Mistweaver here. We get Baydam, he pre-ports. That's a situation where my guy should have automatically silenced him right before my stun ended. But so that way he couldn't port, and he has to just take the full. But we get our CD anyway. We get orb, revival, trinkets, so it really doesn't matter. Regardless, we got everything. Now we just need to survive. So at this point, we're just surviving. That's all we're doing. So the one bad thing about this is your healing is not the greatest. But however, your damage is really nice. You know, having that damage on your goes, it can be really nice. And you'll see during a lot of these clips that we do a lot of damage. And I'm not even in the full correct gear. I don't have much of I mean, I have good gear, but I don't have all of it in terms of what I need to be running. Because obviously I just do carries on these guys. But we port the trap. Thankfully, that actually ended up saving us because I still had trinket, so we trinket the trap actually. So we actually didn't trap. I think there was one other time where I ported it. So here we get a really good opener. This is where we're gonna put extra damage on him and kill him. So here he gets the stun off. My guy oh no, perfect. So he groups him back. In cap Song Chi. So while the healer's being busy getting absolutely obliterated, me and him are just 2v1ing him while his guy sits in Song Chi. And Song Chi is really nice to run. I love Song Chi. I hate the ROP. Unless I was playing Windwalker, that's the only reason I've run it. Just because, you know, it's good for preying, but other than that, it's like just Song Chi is just such a good, useful CC. It's just you gotta have it. So here we're just killing him through his orb, and we absolutely obliterate him. He's dead in 2 globals. He doesn't know what's going on in the game. We're about to kill him here in about 2 seconds. He doesn't know it, but he's gonna die. So here we in-cap Song Chi again, save my life. I'm trying to hold my orb for as long as humanly possible, so I can use it while we're doing our go, and I can just do damage to this guy. So here we're doing big damage. At this point, he should be dead. Once we get another setup here, silence and kill him, or maybe he might just die because he has no orb, no wall, nothing. He's dead right here. GG. So it was a close game, but not close enough. We beat these guys 2 times in a row too. There's only one team that we lost to, which was Holy. Now Holy Priests are really hard to beat when they're with a mage. That's the one thing that we couldn't beat. Holy Priest Mage. We beat Restored Mage, but when it came down to Holy Priest, it's just the main thing is the Guardian, and then the Mage can't die. So it's like, and then obviously up in the air as well. So you have to just, it's way too many cooldowns in 2v2. If it was in 3v3, then they'd get obliterated. But here, another situation where my guy he literally just kills both. And then you gotta add on my damage as well. These guys actually played solidly, but they still got absolutely erased. And again, after the Frost DK buffs, this is kind of what's happening. This is what Frost DKs are doing. It's really broken. Same thing with a lot of other stuff. Like compared to sub rogue damage, these guys do a whole burst rotation in a single like global. And I guarantee people were still complaining about sub, even though it's like B tier. But here we get a really good opener, so I charge him to me. This ability charges him to me like a Windwalker. That way he can't just run away. So here I'm probably going to have to orb myself. See what happens. Actually, maybe not. So I'm trying to hold. Here I trinket. So if I trinket, I'm trying to hold my orb. You don't want to trade multiple CDs at a time. So here I use my my lightning. And as you can see, my lightning hurts. I literally 150'd him with that lightning when it procs. At this point, he gets obliterated. It's just domination of the highest degree. So it's just so much damage going out, and it's random damage. You would think that the DK wouldn't have any more damage, and then all of a sudden he's literally 50-0ing somebody. It's just the most random. It's like, you'll see during this one too. He does all of his burst rotation, and the guy darknesses, and you'll see how funny this is. This guy ends up dying because of this. You'll see. So here we get a really good setup, perfect setup for us. At this point we're helping him do damage, so we're lightning chaining. At this point he darknesses, as you can see, but we were going right through that because darkness, we're going right through it. So here he still should be fine, but then he gets absolutely executed, 50-0 in the most just insane. We both say LOL because that was just the most random, and he was in darkness. Even the darkness isn't that great. He did a lot of healing with it. He did more healing than the healer did with darkness. So he got a really beneficial darkness. For the last game here, these guys started off AFK, or they were trying to bait us, but they immediately somehow just happened to come back. So as you can see, our damage is insane. We end up almost killing this guy. At this point, we kick him, we give him pre-hog, but it's whatever. We may end up trick it orbing. So the one problem versus warriors is you gotta keep your guy high HP, because if they get in execute range, they're just gonna spam execute and kill your guy. So here we get a really good stun opener. Even if it's DR'd, it really doesn't matter because we get revival. And the goal is to get cooldowns for him to kill next go. They have nothing next go, maybe port. But here my DK ends up he just continues to go. So he continues just full going and killing him. And as you can see, the guy just cannot top himself while we're just doing unhealable damage. Um, we get a really good kick, and at this point, he's pretty much dead. This guy has no trinket, no port, no wall, and he's still dying. My guy still has damage. So at this point, I'm kind of scared because warriors do a lot of damage consistently wise, and they're hard countered us. But at the same time, we end up taking them out. We end up getting the W. We get it done, and we end up making it work. So we pretty much win. The next stun that we have is the win, whether it's my stun or his stun. So whenever he has a setup, we do our stun, or I can just stun him right here. We'll see what happens. So here I just stun him myself. That ends up saving my life, and then we do our go on top of that. So had I not done that, I would have died, but now I have orb. Now at this point, we're just going to put our 10% increased damage and just obliterate these people. So here I'm going to orb. You definitely don't want to get caught in a kick in there, just like this guy gets silenced and dies. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys want to see next. It's been X. Peace.